going back to kind of like why we started this league, we want to find a way to pay the players better. Because obviously playing PSA, it's never, certain how much you're going to get from a tournament because it depends on how far you go. You could lose first round and go home with, not too much cash, or you could go far and, do really well. Um, but our salary, for the players kind of guarantees that the players are getting paid pretty well, regardless of how they play through the season. Similar to how other sports, pay athletes, for a contract for say, 3 years or whatever. And they're guaranteed that amount of money, to play for the team.
But I think it functions in a couple of good ways here, where it's like the NSL also is going to pay for players' flights to show up to places, and they're going to put them up for the match weekends. So the players, a lot of times, like on PSA, the risk is that players are flying across the world on their own expense, and there's so much pressure on them to try to like not lose money or try to make a little bit of money. Like say if you go to fly to Hong Kong and the flight's mega expensive, you got to win a bunch of matches to try to break even. So I think here it takes a lot of the stress away from players. Like they know that their expenses are covered. They just got to show up and bring their best version of themselves. And so I think that's why our matches are going to have such good environments, because the players won't have that same kind of life or death mentality when they're playing. They're just going to try to play great squash. Because if you go watch two top pros play a practice match, it's phenomenal. It's amazing. There's no lets, basically. They're hitting 6 shots, and there's not that same kind of edginess. Whereas I think like with the NSL, we're just going to be able to see like that kind of great squash and that fun play and strategy, not necessarily those terrible scenarios where players are really playing for like life and death.